Good afternoon, welcome to Thrumall for the first home league game and since the end of September. Halifax with just one defeat at home this season to champions-elect Wigan taking on Leeds, looking to avenge the 60 points to 27 defeat they suffered at Headingley in September. Both teams with a point to prove. Halifax could be on the way up to the second spot after Leeds and St Helens both lost midweek. Leeds suffering heavily at Warrington. Halifax this afternoon, Micah Manga, John Bentley, John Schuster, Grant Anderson returning after injury, Ferretti Tuolangi on the wing, Craig Dean and Wayne Parker at half-backs, Carl Harrison, Roy Sutherwood and John Fieldhouse in the front row. A ceremony for the second time in 3 games. In the second row, Carl Gillespie at loose forward, Carl Briggs, Paul Light, Simon Baldwin and Wayne Jackson on the bench. This afternoon's sponsors, the Halifax Courier, the local newspaper, much involved in Thrumall. Always plenty to read about from Monday to Friday in the local press. Today's mascot is Tom Davis of Sorby. He's 10 years old, he's a pupil at Newlands Junior School. His hobbies are football, swimming, rugby league and gymnastics. Member of the Junior Blues, his favourite player is John Bentley, and he's been sponsored by Liquid Lines of Normanton. And I'll hand you over now to Stuart for the Leeds team.
Thanks, Daniel. Well, the Leeds team today shows much changes from the game at Warrington on Wednesday evening. Anthony Gibbons comes in at full-back for his full debut, with Marvin Golden, Francis Cummins, Craig Innes and Paul Cook the three-quarters. Tony Kemp and David Gibbons the half-backs. Neil Harmon, James Laws, Barry McDermott sent off against Warrington. He starts the game today. Gary Mercer, Jamie Field and Mike Forshaw make up the pack. The substitutes are Graham Holroyd, Mick Shaw, Marcus Vassilakopoulos and Avi Howard. The referee is John Connolly of Wigan. So Leeds about to kick off. And they'll try and keep Halifax penned in this quarter as Michael Jackson comes climbing out of defence.
Mist descending on Thrumall again. It's been hanging around Halifax for 3 or 4 days. A bit of rain. It's probably the team that holds the ball better this afternoon that might come up with the advantage, although Halifax have the much more experienced side. Leeds in a kit I've never seen before. As Harrison drives forward, Leeds containing Halifax in their own half. Up to now in this set, Roy Sutherwood recalled for the flu victim Paul Rowley. Brings Tuilangi on the inside on the 5th tackle, 10 yards or 10 metres from halfway. Back to Parker for the kick. Down towards Golden, who takes it very well.
Good take there from Marvin Golden and just running the football back towards the halfway line, centre field. The first touch of the ball for Anthony Gibbons. Gibbons is certainly a strong character, played very well in recent weeks in the Alliance and deserves his chance. As Leeds looking to ring the changes after a disastrous defeat at Warrington. James Laws then looks to move the ball back in his favourite hooker position today. Kemp back inside there for Neil Harmon. Harmon well wrapped up the middle of the field. So Laws will find Kemp and Kemp looks to put the football in the air. That's a high spinning bomb. Leeds are all onside. And well taken there by Micah Manga, the full-back. Tremendous full-back play there under a lot of pressure, took the ball well, and Parker gets the ball away to Schuster.
Leeds penalised for offside. John Connolly pointing at Neil Harmon, one of the form forwards in the big league this season, perhaps unlucky to miss out on an England spot for the World Cup. Leeds relying heavily on the power of Harmon this season. Just moving forward in front of the referee, conceding the penalty, which Amoni will put into touch just short of halfway. Sutherwood to Fieldhouse. Fieldhouse over halfway, well tackled by Francis Cummins. 3 tries against Halifax at Headingley in September. Normally on the wing, Cummins is being given the centre berth on a couple of occasions this season. Very, very fast man. Jackson looking for the gaps, coming back inside. Halifax take it to within 25 metres of the Leeds try line. It goes away, Parker pitches it up after it's gone backward, and Manga's joined up into the line. He's got it away to Dean, but Dean doesn't have the strength, or does he? He stretches his arm out. John Connolly's looking at the officials and he's given the try. Well, Craig Dean looked to have been brought down short. The line's not clearly visible from here, but managing to stretch his arm out, put the ball down over the line to give Halifax the lead at 4 points to 0.
A good try there, great break down the middle of the field. Leeds caught napping, looked when the bad pass came out as though the ball had gone forward. I think Leeds waited for the referee to signal that the ball had gone forward. He didn't do that, and despite Anthony Gibbons' attempts at tackling over on the corner there, Craig Dean just had enough of the physical strength to put the ball down. Yes, it was they were winning quite convincingly at half-time, conceded a disastrous 50 points in the second half. However, times have changed since then. Leeds have struggled in recent weeks to come to terms with what Dean Bell has set them. And Halifax again will run the football out with Michael Jackson.
Jackson in front of his own post, caught by 3 Leeds defenders, 12 metres out. Now Bentley, former Leeds player of course, he's good sequence of scoring against his old club at Thrumall. He scored 2 when Halifax won 23-16 here last season. But Leeds have a good record, winning 4 of the last 6 appearances at Thrumall. Fieldhouse in the middle of the field looking to unload. Backed up again by 3 Leeds defenders. Southernwood switches to Harrison on the short ball. Harrison gets it back to Southernwood. Southernwood with Fieldhouse in support, loses it, it goes backwards. Halifax continue it and Amanga looks for the gap again. He's quickly closed down, this time on the 5th tackle. Leeds contain Halifax in their own half again. Parker will kick it down towards Leeds fullback Anthony Gibbons.
Anthony Gibbons just making progress with the football. Cooks at acting half. Scored a great try here last season. Paul Cook. And the crowd over on the far side not particularly happy with the tackle. Here comes Barry McDermott. And an absolutely storming display for the Alliance side. Gary Mercer, some straight running from him. But good tackle coming in from 13, Carl Gillespie. Leeds quickly moving the ball out. That's good play, Jamie Field. Oh, and out of the back door there. That's good football. Gibbons David Gibbons, that is, running with the ball up to the middle. So Leeds have made good progress back into the Halifax half of the field, and the ball is in the hands of Tony Kemp, and Kemp puts the cross-field kick in, puts the full back under pressure, but Amanga picks up well there. And
Kemp following his kick up, putting the shoulder into Amanga enough to slow him down. Tackle completed by Innes. Bentley on the outside, heading towards that touchline. He could be in trouble. He is. Paul Cook doing well. A couple of other players got there. I couldn't see who it was from here. But Bentley was in danger there as soon as he started heading towards that touchline.
It's very difficult on a wet day like this. The ground does slope down towards that touchline. In fact, the ground slopes at Halifax from right to left as you're looking at it, and from where we are to the far side. So Leeds have had 2 attempts at putting the ball in the scrum, and none of them have been to the satisfaction of John Connolly. This time it does come out. And the ball missing out there. Francis Cummins taking men on up the middle of the field, but that's big defence coming in there from Amanga. Read the situation perfectly. Craig Innistem. It's the pedal down. And Leeds will be needing a big game from the former All Black today, up against, of course, another former All Black in John Schuster. Mercer. Good defence again from Asa Ramoni. Ramoni looks to wrap Gibbons up, but Gibbons lows up, but lows is away, and now Neil Harmon's up. Again gets the ball away, knocked forward there by Carl Harrison as Neil Harmon looked to get the ball away. So Leeds again will have head and ball at the scrum in a very good attacking position for them, just inside the Halifax 20 metres. And John Connolly comes to the open side. Gibbons gets the ball away, and Forshaw looking to go himself from the base of the scrum. Leeds will use a short side. In fact, Gary Mercer runs himself. Brought down, takes play to within 3-4 metres of the line. Oh, Leeds will be looking for points here. Gibbons again, nice ball out to Kemp, looking for the run around. Kemp goes himself. Wrapped up though, good defence from Halifax, from Craig Dean. Lows. Bringing on Jamie Field. And Leeds making no progress whatsoever against some very solid Halifax defence. Kemp again now. It's a lovely ball, Gibbons. Ball's gone backwards. The referee says that's a knock-on, and the chance is lost for Leeds, but it was a good ball there from Kemp. Looked like Leeds are going to go in, and it'll be head and ball to Halifax at the scrum.
Well, Perhaps Leeds might have had a chance there. I think Kemp, on the first occasion when he went on his own, had a three-man overlap on his outside. But the Halifax line holding fast. They get possession from the scrum. And Bentley this time sensibly coming into the centre of the field, keeping away from the touchline. Schuster doing the work of the forwards, gets up to the 20-metre line. Anderson. There's not much room for him. There's plenty of defenders there for Leeds again. Defending well in numbers. Leeds keeping Halifax in their own half. Fieldhouse into three, slips it away nicely to Southernwood. Southernwood able to continue another 10 metres. Anderson throws it away despairingly. It goes backwards. Harrison in support. The pass from Amoni. That's great play, and it takes Halifax back into the Leeds half. Good passing, perhaps a bit risky in these conditions. Halifax throwing caution to the wind yet again as Jackson comes inside. Jackson looked for support and takes it 16, 17 metres away from the Leeds line on the last tackle, and the defence opening up for Wayne Parker. Great try by Parker, but it was a build-up that put Halifax in the position. Keeping the ball alive, some lovely little passes. Even Carl Harrison up in support in midfield. But on the last tackle, perhaps a bit of indecision on the part of the Leeds defence there, Stuart, but it opened up a big gap for Parker just to step through and put Halifax 8-0 into the lead.
And Halifax playing with the advantage of the slope in this first half. And the Leeds will be looking to keep them to some form of reasonable score, if not to be in front by half-time, so they can use the elements in the second half. And the fog again, as I said earlier, starting to come in now. And Schuster just waiting to line the kick up. If he kicks it, Halifax will go 10-0 in the lead. And that's successful this time. So Leeds 0, Halifax 10. And really, Leeds have no ability at the moment to stop these Halifax breaks down the middle of the field. It's certainly got to be just committing men in numbers, and all the Leeds players, is interesting to note, were all slow to get back there and cover the options when Halifax made the break. Michael Jackson again, he's run the ball out well this afternoon.
Jackson bringing it out of defence again for Halifax. The fog lifting a little bit and the rain abating as Amoni brings it out, trying to wrestle out of the tackle. Amoni still trying to go forward. It's Jamie Field that finally ends the run. Gillespie into a big tackle from the two Leeds second row players, Mercer and Field. Fieldhouse off the short ball looking for the pass. Straightening up into Gibbons and McDermott. Southernwood, good ball to Harrison, but called forward by referee John Connolly. Well, I didn't see much in that, perhaps a line ball, but John Connolly saw it.
So it looked a line ball from here. It was right opposite where we are on the gantry, and it looked quite a good pass. But anyway, Leeds will take whatever they can at the moment, and they've got the scrum, and Gibbons it is, and Kemp trying to go himself. Golden now looking to step inside. Can't make progress. That's good defence from Gillespie again. Good driving forward by Barry McDermott. Looks to play the ball quickly, and Leeds will get Neil Harmon on the burst now. It's a good ball for Forshaw, and that's good ball, even better for Innes. Innes throws the ball back inside, but not read there by Cook. The Innes and Cummins partnership would surely have read that better, but however, Leeds pick up the loose ball and bring the football away now. David Gibbons just sliding for Kemp. Kemp looks to go himself. Can't get the ball away in the tackle. Last tackle now. Mercer puts the kick forward. Almost knocked on there. Good pick up in the end by Micah Manga, who was perfectly placed for the kick. That's good full-back play.
Well, Micah Manga's having a big game for defence in Halifax so far. He picked that one up well. Harrison, no mistake this time with a pass from Southernwood. But again, there's plenty of Leeds defenders there. The blue and amber shirts around Carl Harrison. Fieldhouse to Anderson. Anderson, the risky pass to Tuilangi. Tuilangi trapped by Golden. Halifax playing very adventurous rugby in the conditions. Not so adventurous that time by Gillespie. Parker kicks it away in disgust. John Connolly perhaps seeing the lighter side. Many players giving a penalty away. That's classed as dissent now, Stuart.
Yes, very lucky there, Wayne Parker, because it was just frustration on his part that the pass had been knocked on, but he certainly kicked the ball away. And Leeds will go to scrum again. They really need some points now, Leeds. They've put a lot of pressure on the Halifax line without being able to have anything to show for it. That's a good ball now. Anthony Gibbons going himself for the corner. He's in for the debut try, Anthony Gibbons. Good play there from the scrum. Great play from Craig Innes. And that's Anthony Gibbons over for the try. That was good play from Leeds, moving the ball along there. And great football from Anthony Gibbons. Had the confidence to take the man on the outside. The man on the outside he took on was Carl Gillespie, covering across. But Leeds over for the first try, or their first try of the afternoon. And that
Halifax know all about how Leeds can come back.
So Leeds then will receive the ball from the kick-off, from Schuster's kick-off. It's long, spinning, and it's deep. It's picked up again by the try scorer, Anthony Gibbons, who just comes powering out. Up to the 20 metres, so that's a good return of the ball. And Gary Mercer will make the advantage line and wriggles across the advantage line there. Leeds looking to use the big forwards. Now comes Jamie Field, spinning out of tackles, Jamie Field. Lowe's then looks for runners, finds Kemp. Kemp kicks. Well, that's straight down the throat of Amanga. Not a very good kick at all from Tony Kemp, and Amanga's brought the ball right back to halfway line.
Good take again by Amanga. Kemp's kick directed straight at him. And Halifax with Schuster back in Leeds territory. Parker to Jackson. Leeds defence sucked in a little bit there, but Jackson forced almost back to halfway. Sutherwood looking for the quick play. Fieldhouse taking the short pass. Mercer wrapping up man and ball. Good tackle. Plenty of assistance there from Field and Lowe's. Fieldhouse complaining to the linesman, but John Connolly seeing the knock on. So another mistake from Halifax. Will give Leeds possession just inside their own half.
Well, I certainly thought I'd spotted a little knock on there with John Fieldhouse, and it was a touch judge who drew the referee John Connolly's attention to it. Well, Leeds, the ball out the scrum, bring Marvin Golden on the loop round. Leeds quickly playing the ball for Mike Forshaw. Forshaw had a bright start to his Leeds career, scoring a lot of tries in the opening matches of the season. Short ball there is for Barry McDermott. Leeds using Kemp now. Kemp, ball is out for Mercer, who had to jump to take the ball. Can't get the ball away. That's great defence from number 12, Asia Amoni. Amoni quickly round there. 6 more tackles as David Gibbons looked to make the break. The ball knocked down there by Amoni from diving in from acting half. McDermott, that's good strong driving from Barry McDermott. That's what Leeds signed him for. Now it's Neil Harmon's turn. Up the hill into Carl Addison and John Fieldhouse. And as Neil Harmon will tell you after the game, you get no change out of them two. Leeds using the short side. Craig Innes looking to take men on. Scampering hands and knees forward, but that's giving Leeds a lot of width now to bring this ball up the hill, both ways up the hill, from left to right and then up the slope. Long balls out there for Forshaw. Leeds have got men to spare at this side if they can get the ball away. Francis Cummins looked to go back inside, and the cover coming across got him. Not a good pass there for Kemp, and Kemp's going to have to struggle now. In fact, he does well there, Kemp. And Leeds running a football, finds it to Golden. Golden can't take the pass, and the ball goes in a touch. So on the 6th tackle, that'll be the handover, and Halifax will be in possession.
Well, Grant Anderson moving out quickly on Kemp there. Did leave a gap in the Halifax line. Leeds tried to exploit it, but couldn't. But they're still going to be under pressure in their own quarter of the field. Harrison goes forward, but there's a wall of Leeds defenders again. And Halifax have spent a lot of the time so far in their own half, despite the fact that they're leading 10-4. Unable to break down a very solid Leeds defence. Schuster managing to take that one-handed. Support from Jackson. Jackson tries stepping inside. He's tackled by Mercer and Lowe's. 18 metres inside his own half. Gillespie tries to use Anderson. Anderson, the chip over the top. Cummings in the way. It's come off Golden. There's a chance here, but it's gone. Knocked forward by Twilangi. And Leeds will get 6 tackles. Well, I think a bit of panic by Halifax there. If they'd just steadied their nerves, they could have picked the ball up and had another 6 tackles, Stuart.
Yes, they could have done there. Kicked on when they should have really been looking to dive on the football. And Leeds at last opening play out now with Innes. And it's looking to bring Cook inside, but Cook staying outside and Innes has to take the tackle. And quickly now, Leeds moving the ball with Jamie Field. Looks to offload the ball, they can't do that. And really Leeds have had no advantage since the ball was knocked on by Halifax, despite the fact that referee Connolly allowed play. Leeds were well knocked back and have just come up to there. James Laws, good football from James Laws up the middle of the field. It's the ball away, picked up by McDermott. A long looping pass there is for Innes. Innes out the back door for Cook. And Leeds at last beginning to look now. Cook stepping, going himself. Lovely ball. Oh, that's a high tackle. And the referee says that's not a high tackle. Well, he's in charge. Anthony Gibbons certainly felt that goes down into the corner gloom there. And that's head and ball to Leeds. Well, strange decision. The touch judge says that's head and ball to Leeds at the scrum. That Leeds appeared to knock the ball forward into Halifax play, but certainly the ball came off the Halifax man. But that's a strange decision. However, we'll take anything we can get this afternoon, and that's another scrum feed to Leeds. Gibbons knocked on and then gives away the penalty for having something to say. So Halifax 2 penalties, Leeds 6-1 in the scrums.
Well, I suppose that's justice really. I would have said Leeds, Halifax should have had the possession as a Leeds player knocked it on. But Gibbons gave it to Halifax and then conceded the penalty, which Halifax are quick to take. With Amoni the first drive, and he's still trying to shrug off the tacklers. Powerful run by the Tongan centre come second row. And now a chance for Halifax if they move it out wide. Amanga brings Anderson on the inside. Kemp moving across with Gibbons to make the tackle just short of halfway. Fieldhouse on the short ball, back to Dean. Dean trying to break away, does well to get out of 2. Still trying to go forward, Craig Dean. There's a flop from a Leeds player, Harmon on the back of Craig Dean as he was down. But Halifax had the advantage. Schuster if he can get away. Both teams playing open rugby despite the conditions. Chip over the top, taken by Anthony Gibbons. Brings it back to the 20-metre line, cleaning it up for Leeds.
That's the first time Halifax have been down in there in possession without scoring, and now it's left to Marvin Golden to try and run the football out, and Leeds looking for some forwards to do some work. And now we find one in Gary Mercer. But the progress of Mercer halted there. Jamie Field now, Leeds using the second row mentor. And burst through, and Field has done all that's asked of him this afternoon, only 18. Plays prop at lower levels of football. Anthony Gibbons finds Neil Harmon. So Leeds want some driving up the field from the big forwards. Now Kemp can put the kick in on the last tackle. And the ball at Samanga, so that's all onside and Leeds up quickly.
Good chase by Leeds. Halifax are struggling to get back into position. Twilangi will run it out of defence. Plenty of strength for a wingman. As Freddie Twilangi Anderson almost at pedestrian pace into the tackle. Halifax supporters voicing their feelings at that one. Fieldhouse tried to pass it and dropped it, but there's a chance here. Schuster, if he's got the pace, brings Bentley on the inside. Bentley over halfway, still pushing defenders off. John Bentley takes it back into Leeds territory, makes 20 metres, got away from 3 or 4 Leeds tacklers. Parker again looking for the gap from acting half. Bentley gets it away somehow to Michael Jackson. Jackson straightens up, and from all of that Halifax make 2 or 3 metres. Parker on the last tackle, opting to put one up under the post. Plenty of pressure, Harrison chasing onto it, it's bouncing awkwardly. It's Parker that's come up with it, but it's going to be offside.
Yes, so Leeds get the first penalty of the game. Ball knocked forward and then into an offside position. As I say, McDermott was interfered with at the play of the ball, and Kemp again looks to the football towards our commentary position. Neil Harmon now. Neil Harmon had a big game at Warrington on Wednesday evening. Mercer again, just looking for any way he can get through this tight, compressed Halifax defence, which has worked really well this afternoon. Oh, Leeds knocking on, not a good pass. And Jamie Field couldn't take it round his ankles, and the chance for Leeds gone there as early as the second tackle. Hello.
Well, Leeds waste possession. They've had plenty of it in the first half and plenty of it in the Halifax half of the field, but Halifax still cling to that 10-4 lead. Almost half an hour gone in the first half, and defence is on top despite both teams trying to play open, attractive rugby. Parker caught on that far side of the field. Gillespie tries to break a way through, but again 3 Leeds defenders. Now numbers for Halifax if they move the ball out quickly, and they do. Yamanga to halfway, but Leeds penalised for offside. Well, a strange decision by John Connolly. Halifax had run 30 or 40 metres before Connolly opted to penalise for the offside. Twilangi takes the pass from Southernwood, makes it almost up to the Leeds quarter line. Fieldhouse trying to make some headway towards those Leeds posts. Halifax have scored on 2 out of 3 visits into the Leeds quarter of the field, and they're looking to extend the lead again. Parker moves it out wide. Dean brings Schuster on the inside. Schuster brought down 10 metres out, but Halifax still putting the pressure on. Parker going on his own, he's met by 3 Leeds forwards 5 metres out on the 5th tackle. Dean, the chip through on the floor. Anderson puts the pressure on Golden, but Golden does well, and still going forward for Leeds. Good play by Golden, relieving the pressure again at the back for Leeds.
It's good take by Marvin Golden. Francis Cummins comes away from acting half up to the 20 metres, and he gets a penalty there. Carl Addison too slow to get off, too old and too slow probably, Carl Addison. That's always been a worry of mine in this speeding up the game, that as players get a bit older, they just don't roll off like they used to do. In fact, I don't know how Jeff Grayson ever gets up at all off the floor now. He must give a penalty away at every tackle. And no disrespect to Carl Addison there, who's one of my favourite players. But how he can be expected to bounce up like a Kelly toy as you get older, I'll never know. Harvey Howard. And that's a good bit of prop forward driving from Harvey Howard, takes play into the Halifax half of the field. The Leeds now with Tony Kemp. Just a drop off inside, Forshaw. Forshaw's well wrapped up there. In fact, he isn't well wrapped up, he's still struggling. And eventually the 3rd Halifax tackler brings him down. Jamie Field. Bumping off men, taking play forward now. Leeds just into the Halifax 20 metres with James Laws. James Laws straight through Parker. Parker hanging on for grim death. 10 metres short Leeds. What will they do? Cook's got the ball in his hands at acting half. Finds Gibbons. Gibbons finds Kemp, so everything will come from Kemp. The kick goes spinning forward. Picked up there by the fullback, who was again in perfect position for the kick. Devil. Superb fullback play this afternoon.
Well, there's another Leeds player conceded the penalty. But both sides using the kick to good advantage towards the opposition line. But both back lines up to it, taking the ball in slippery conditions, having to bend down and pick it up off the floor. And Tuilagi will take the first drive for Halifax again. Harvey Howard just giving Tuilagi a bit of a facial. John Connolly saw the interference. And a quick second successive penalty for Halifax. Tony Kemp being brought out by John Connolly. Zamoni finds touch inside the Leeds half. And Halifax get another set of 6. Fieldhouse takes it 7 or 8 metres. Mercer and Kemp waiting for him. Amone straightening up towards the Leeds post in centre field. Blows McDermott and Field to meet him. Leeds using the 3-man defence. And that's probably the instruction from Dean Bell. Obviously didn't use a 3-man defence at Warrington on Wednesday when they suffered. They'll suffer 47 points, and they've suffered again with a burst from Schuster, putting Parker in for his second. Well, they've not spent much time in that Leeds quarter of the field, Stuart, but they've had the advantage on 3 occasions now. Parker with his second, extending the score to 14 points to 4.
Well, the Leeds defence is at Warrington, proving that it can't cope when the ball is switched quickly. Leeds were expecting the play to go down to the bottom corner. Halifax switched it back and Schuster was through the gap. He didn't have the pace to go himself, but he certainly found the support there in Wayne Parker. And now Leeds are going to be really struggling this afternoon. After holding Halifax at 10-4 for most of the game, they now find themselves on 33 minutes, going further behind as the season progresses. So Schuster then. Kills it in, converts. Halifax 16, Leeds 4. Three tries and 2 goals. Cal Gillespie comes off for a blood bin, and it's number 16 Simon Baldwin that comes on. Cook then. Time kicks off.
The usual kick-off using the shorter option. Harrison picking it up for Halifax, taking the first drive from the kick-off. It's not often you'll see him in that position. Jackson held again by 3 Leeds defenders, 12 metres inside the Halifax half. Going up to half-time, Parker switches the play to Amone. Amone strains up centre field. Leeds defence there this time. Harrison at full steam, takes it back over halfway. Good drive by the Halifax captain. Southernwood. Parker this time opting for the kick over the top. Perhaps he hadn't seen Gibbons stood deeper in the fog, but Gibbons collects it for Leeds.
It's very gloomy at the moment here at Thrum Hall as the darkness descends under the fog. Cook twisting and turning, can't get any progress whatsoever. And somebody shouting about something, a poor pass there from acting half-back. Puts Leeds in all sorts of trouble now in their own 20 metres. They've had 3 tackles. And it takes a good drive from Barry McDermott to look as though he can relieve any sort of pressure whatsoever. Harvey Howard's looking to come short, so is Gary Mercer. Last tackle now, so that's back to Harvey Howard. I don't think Howard's aware that this is the last tackle. He'll have to make the turnover. Really, Leeds should have realised that was the last tackle, and Harvey Howard shouldn't have been given the football in that situation. It's put them in all sorts of trouble now, because Halifax coming strongly with men outside. Bentley now.
Well, perhaps Bentley not expecting that pass, unable to to collect his thoughts quickly to use the bottom side, had to come back inside, brought down on halfway, but Halifax have the possession. Again with Amone, straightening up down the middle, great run by Asaramone. Southernwood to Parker, men stacking on this side. Baldwin back inside to Jackson, but Jackson unable to hold the pass. And it could have been curtains for Leeds there again if Jackson had managed to keep hold of the pass from Baldwin.
Yes, again Leeds caught quick there with a short ball inside, switching the direction. The Leeds defence seemingly only want to work in one direction. That's the one that the ball is travelling in. As soon as it switched the other way, Leeds look pedestrian to get back and not really aware of what's going on in the situation. Kemp brings Golden on the arc again. And that's good running from Marvin Golden. That's taking play well over the 20 metres. Innes now looking to take play further on. And Craig Innes will be missing his centre partner today, Kevin Howard, because they like to double up Gibbons. And now McDermott looks to go himself, looks to see if a gap will open up the middle of the field. McDermott slips the ball out of the tackle straight into the arms of Simon Baldwin, who'd come round the back for exactly that reason.
Well,
if John Bentley had kicked it that hard in that situation, then I'm sure he would be in trouble from his coach. Leeds get the penalty there, having won the scrum. It's really Bentley needed to tap that ball on, and the ball went flying out of the ground. But for all the world as though Leeds boot had kicked that dead. This is probably going to be Leeds' last chance in this first half to get some points. Harvey Howard drives forward. There goes a hooder, so the last chance comes to nothing. And Halifax, who've had all the ace in this first half with tries to Dean and Wayne Parker too, with 2 Schuster conversions, lead Leeds, who only have the try to Anthony Gibbons, 16-4. So Leeds 4, Halifax 16.
we got to let everybody all look now.
So it's going to be John Schuster to get the game restarted. And Leeds trailing here by 4 points to 16. And it's going to take a big second half effort from them. We've seen them come back before this season in the second half. Can they do so again today? Like Forshaw. And certainly Leeds will prefer to be running down the hill. Harvey Howard. Good driving up to the 40 metre mark there, Leeds 40 metres from their own line. By the 4th tackle, James Lowes. Takes us almost up to halfway. In fact, that's the 4th tackle now, so Leeds done exceptionally well. Kemp. Kicks the ball again, but straight into the arms of Tuilanga.
Freddie Tuilanga almost breaking away there. Halifax, of course, will look to keep Leeds out. They started falling apart within 5 minutes of the second half at Headingley. Amoni drives forward back into Leeds territory. Leeds trailing 16-4 at the break. Jackson steps back inside. The influence of Western Samoa showing in 2 of Halifax's 3 first half tries, with Amanga and Schuster both being involved. Here's Schuster again, kick over the top. Bentley's chasing it, he's going to try and put pressure on Gibbons. There's plenty of chasers there for Halifax, and Gibbons not allowed much room at all by the 3 or 4 Halifax chasers.
Good kick and chase game, Paul Cook. Looking to step back inside, he's well wrapped up on his own 10 metre line, so Leeds struggling to get away from their own quarter, and he'll take a big drive from one of the forwards to do just that. Mercer's the latest to attempt. And now Harvey Howard takes the ball, difficult ball. Pass not a good one, but Kemp picks up well. Forshaw, oh, through the gap, Forshaw, good play. He's got Innes outside him. What's a lovely football away to Innes. And he's stepping inside, but Cook had come inside instead of staying out there. And it's up to the last tackle now, so Kemp running, spots the gap, goes himself. Gets the ball back there on the last tackle. And Leeds moving the ball out with Barry McDermott. Chip overs for the corner. The Halifax man takes it, ball goes straight into touch, so Leeds will have head and ball at the scrum there. And a good kick and chase game, so a lovely break there by Mike Forshaw, Dello.
Great bait by Forshaw. A good kick bait by McDermott. Halifax perhaps better advice to leave that, perhaps to roll into touch. Had it been going in that direction, it's difficult to see from here down into that bottom corner, but Leeds with 6 more. There's a great by Cummins through the middle. Round the despairing tackle of Carl Gillespie. A good reply from Leeds only minutes into the second half. And at 16 points to 8 with a kick to come in front of the post, it's put Leeds right back into this game.
Well, Leeds have worked very hard. The young ones particularly again amongst them today, and a lovely break there from Mike Forshaw, set up position for that try eventually. And Leeds have scored again. This time Cook converts. And it's interesting to note that both Leeds tries have come straight from the base of a scrum. So 16-10 then, Leeds in the lead. And a good sprinkling of Loyness fans here this afternoon. They'll be delighted to see their team hit back so quickly and so convincingly after the break. Cummins did very, very well there. Good piece of sender play from the base of the scrum. And Schuster looks to get the game restarted. Picked up by Kemp. Kemp finds Mercer. Mercer will get over that 20-metre line. Before he's brought down, closes in at acting half. And Forshaw again, rampaging through Forshaw. That's good running. So Mike Forshaw certainly had his half-time lemons, or whatever they get these days. McDermott now as Leeds on a roll and on a rampage. Some rough stuff coming in from Michael Jackson. Lowe spots the gap, goes himself from acting half. Can't get past Fieldhouse, but Leeds ever so well there into the Halifax half of the field. Leeds using that bottom side there with Kemp. Kemp puts the kick down into the corner again. That's going to be too far and go dead, is it? It's too far there, so Halifax will have possession, but a good kick there from Kemp.
A good kick from Kemp, a bit risky from Amanga. The ball went over the line eventually. Chase was on from Lee's point of view. That ball just going over the ball line. They'll bring it back from the 20-metre line with Jackson. And he's trying to drag him over the touch line. Sutherwood inside to Harrison. Looking to lift herself up and respond to that early try by Leeds. The lead is cut to 6 points, at 16 points to 10. Parker on that trick to Amona. Amona away from McDermott, looks round, sees Bentley. Bentley looks for support. It goes behind Jackson. Schuster manages to get behind Cook. Well, John Connolly's given a knock on. Well, you're nodding your head, Stuart, but well, I think he's given that perhaps against Jackson, saying Jackson touched it. Halifax fans don't agree. It all happened very quickly, but Leeds will get the possession again.
Mick Shaw comes on for Harvey Howard, who's in the blood bin. Referee not happy, the ball going straight out through the scrum. Carl Gillespie was quickly round. And this time it's kicked out on the Halifax side, so Leeds will could play here if Bentley gets away.
Well, something you don't see so often, one against the head. Bentley was almost away. Amona's trying, there's a bit of a scuffle as the pack breaks up. Amona has finally put to ground. They're claiming it was a third man or a late flop there. And the Halifax supporters as Dean tries to go through. Gets it away to Gillespie. Takes it into the Leeds quarter. Halifax looking for the cushion with another score. Parker on that trick. Parker's looking for the gap. He gets it away to Jackson. And Jackson manages to get through 2 Leeds defenders. But it was Parker that made the try with his sharp dash and the short break, and Michael Jackson restores the 10-point lead for Halifax. And all coming from a scrum against the head.
So Schuster looking to pile the sand high on a kick which would put Halifax 22 points to 10 in the lead. And Leeds a good 2 scores behind again. And really the Leeds defence very slow to close Parker down. In fact, the ball that got Leeds away there was a pass out of the tackle from a man who was only 5 foot tall, Craig Dean. Despite the fact there were 2 Leeds men round him, he still managed to get the ball away, which meant that the ball came up the slope into the arms eventually of Wayne Parker. So Leeds have really got to clamp man and ball. And Halifax, well, they'll be delighted with this. Craig Dean's had a superb game at number 6 for them. Schuster then, taking what seems like an eternity. Curls that round and just through the post. For 22 points to 10 then, Fax have the lead. Four tries and 3 goals.
And Schuster, no mistake with his 3rd conversion from 4 attempts. Makes it 22-10. And the comfort zone I spoke about earlier is now back intact with a 12-point lead. And Wayne Parker having a great game for Halifax. 2 tries, setting that one up for Jackson, celebrating his signature on a new 3-year contract at Thrumall last week. And he really is calling the shots for Halifax this afternoon. And now Halifax will perhaps settle it down and look to hold on to the 12-point lead. Bentley not allowed much ground. Leeds defenders moving up very quickly. Bentley unable to get up and play the ball quickly. Harrison down the middle of the field, tackled by Mercer. And Mick Shaw, the man that caused Halifax a heap of problems at Headingley in the second half when he came on. There's an appeal for a high tackle there. John Fieldhouse is still on the floor. But I didn't see anything malicious in that, Stuart. I think it was across the chest.
Well, the first harm out was across the chest, but the Fieldhouse is down from the second tackle, which forced the ball out of his grasp. Leeds get the ball this time from the scrum. Well, it's giving the head and ball to Halifax there after Craig Innes laid the ball off behind him. So Innes was struggling in the tackle there, he couldn't keep hold of possession, and again Halifax have the football.
Well, Craig Innes was complaining bitterly to referee John Connolly then about that decision, but Connolly stands by it. Halifax get the possession. That's a good tackle by Kemp on John Bentley. Dean to Gillespie. Leeds sticking to it defensively in the centre of the field, not just as tight on their own line. That's why they've conceded 4 tries. And Halifax now go looking for the 5th, and there's a chance here with numbers on the outside. Anderson goes without the ball. Leeds player trying to play it forward with the boot, but the first knock-on's going to be taken. But Halifax slow to move the ball out there. There was an option with 3 men on the outside, but the Leeds defence getting across very quickly and forcing the mistake.
Dean looked like he was going to go himself. He threw enough dummies to confuse the Leeds defence, decided not to go himself. So Leeds 11 scrums have had an acre of possession this afternoon, and they've been unable to really do anything yet. Scored the 2 tries from the base of the scrum. Mick Shaw scoots and goes himself. Siddle player, of course. He'd love to turn Halifax over this afternoon. And Leeds have another former Siddle man on the bench in Graham Holroyd. McDermott. So got football out of the tackle, and James Lowes is looking to take play forward. Leeds looking to go forward all the time now with the football in their hands. Now out to Kemp. Kemp Looks for the run around there with Anthony Gibbons. Ball's out to Cummins, stepped inside, great tackle there from Grant Anderson. Oh, a knock on there by Anthony Gibbons, who tried the chip over. They had a ball to Leeds. Halifax knocking on the first attempt from the kick, and Anthony Gibbons got it back but couldn't hold it. So Leeds again a chance now to put some pressure on Halifax as the fog descends even more. And we've got a player coming off for a blood bin, I think. Fieldhouse. And now Simon Baldwin and Wayne Jackson come on just to pep up the pack. Blood bin might not be a blood bin substitution for Fieldhouse. He's done a hard stint this afternoon. So, ball out to Anthony Gibbons, not a good pass, and misses Kemp. It's picked up by Cummins. Leeds in the Halifax quarter, switching play, that's good football there. Gibbons again, Mercer running out wide. Football's in, and Golden is in the corner. No, he isn't. Looked like he was in there, Marvin Golden, but an Halifax player came out of the fog. Not a good pass, well picked up by Innes. And he's looking to off, but Cook not reading the situation at all there, Paul Cook. And the glance is lost for Leeds and goes into touch on the full, so we've seen the Cook and Innes combination not working very well this afternoon. And again, it didn't work there. Paul Cook not reading the situation, what Craig Innes was going to do.
Well, Innes was furious with Paul Cook there. He thumped the ground in disgust. That's the second occasion where Paul Cook has gone inside where perhaps there'd been an opening for him on the outside, but the ball sailing into touch. Halifax will not mind it. Parker makes a break from acting half and makes 10 metres, which takes the pressure away from the Halifax line. Harrison off the short ball into Mercer and Field, make another 10 or 12 metres. Now Jackson, who's come on to replace John Fieldhouse. Strong run by Jackson, gets the pass away, but it goes to ground. Well, Steve Sims is not a happy man after seeing Jackson throw out that pass. The pass was good, it went to ground, and Leeds are on the attack again. This time Cook stops on the outside, but closed down by Shoes.
Jamie Field now, seen a lot of him in this second half as Leeds have spread the ball through the backs. Field just takes that ball forward. Shaw now on for Mike Forshaw, out through the windscreen there. Under no pressure whatsoever, dropped the football. And Halifax looking to move the ball across.
Well, Leeds surrender possession again. It's all getting very scrappy now as Southernwood makes the break from acting half. Parker pops it up for Jackson. No pass coming this time from the substitute forward. Brought down 10 metres from halfway. Parker steps out of the first tackle. There's a voice shouting for the ball, but Parker's brought down on halfway. Twilangi off the wing, looking for the break, almost through. Twilangi shrugging off the tacklers, still going forward. Support from Southernwood. Southernwood brought down 12 metres out. He did extremely well to get there. Twilangi did well to shake off two tacklers. The fifth tackle, Parker puts Jackson in the gap. Jackson looks to get it away to Bentley. The attack comes to an end. But again, it's that overseas influence for Halifax with Twilangi breaking two tackles that put them in the position, just enable Jackson to get the pass away to Bentley. But Leeds back in their own quarter.
It's a good defence there from Anthony Gibbons. Now he runs the football out from acting half. Jamie Field. Kemp. Long ball out there to no one in particular. Puts Golden under loads of pressure. Cummins. That's better play from Leeds, just driving the ball forward, but really very patchy 6s and 7s performance from the Liners.
Well, a huge kick by Allroyd downfield. Amanga there to collect it for Halifax. He'll bring it back. He gives it to Bentley. Bentley looking for the touchline, then cutting back inside, mindful of that mistake in the first half where he was taking to touch on the first tackle. Now Schuster taking the ball forward on his own, while one or two players taking a breather behind him and setting up the position. Parker to Harrison. Harrison just brushing Kemp aside there. Now Baldwin, who's moved out to the centre position to replace Anderson, no stranger to that position, normally a loose forward. Jackson driving forward. Leeds player there going to for the interception, perhaps sensing Kemp, perhaps sensing that Jackson might try and throw out the pass again. Parker opts for one, high in the air, putting the pressure on Allroyd, but well taken by the young ex-Siddle player Graham Allroyd. Superb take from that high ball from Park.
Yes, very safe on the high ball is Allroyd. Not many judges at Leeds see him as a possible future fullback. McDermott. Leeds now coming looking away, down with Gary Mercer. And defences must surely start tiring. Now while Harvey Howard's back on and Mick Shaw comes off, so Leeds back to something like the original formation. Up to the last tackle now, so the ball will go this time to James Laws, and he kicks downfield, splits the defenders well there. In fact, the fullback Amanga gets across.
Twilangi and Amanga sensibly back to cover against the kick. Baldwin running down towards that bottom side, 5 metres, 6 metres from halfway. Halifax with that 22 points to 10 lead and looking to cling on for the last 15 minutes. Parker to Dean. Dean looking for runners. Schuster inside. Pirouettes away from the first tackler. Looks like Kemp, and Kemp's taking the boot for his troubles. Big mates off the field, Schuster and Kemp, former all-back players. Jackson. Pair of fresh legs, Wayne Jackson. It certainly shows he's got that extra bit of strength, the fifth tackle. Back to Parker, long range drop goal. Will it get there? Connolly signalled yes. Well, Parker from 40 metres out. Carl Briggs, normally the drop goal specialist at Thurmall. And that one gives Halifax a 13-point cushion at 23.
Allroyd, high spinning kick. Hangs in the air for what seems like an eternity and gives Leeds a chance to get up there, but they didn't take it very well. In fact, that was an absolutely disgraceful kick and chase game from Leeds. Lovely kick from Allroyd, hung in the air for an eternity, and Leeds nowhere near, just stood back on the 20 metres and waited for the man to arrive there. So Halifax then looking to take advantage of that play, and they've up to the halfway line with Jackson. Wayne Jackson, that is.
And Wayne Jackson just being used as a battering ram, and it must be taking it out of the Leeds defence. Harrison brought down well by Forshaw. Sutherwood using the short side. Jackson into Innes. Forshaw there again. Innes a very strong tackler. Parker misreading the script somewhat there. A pass drifted out on the last tackle into touch, and Leeds with another set of 6.
So Mick Shaw acting halfback, just it's Jamie Field on the rampage. Harvey Howard. And again, what really Leeds need to do is to get that ball wide and try and run Halifax about. Barry McDermott's in a good position now, but that's a great defence on McDermott down there in the gloom. The Leeds get the penalty, something that's happened in the tackle. It's difficult to see now. Raking the ball out, says the ref. Allroyd finds touch. McDermott, who's just had the ball stolen from him, just drives forward, so Leeds a good 30 metres on the Halifax line now with Harvey Howard. Howard busting through into the 20 metres. That's good running from Harvey Howard. Looking for the run round there, Gibbons. It's Jamie Field through the gap, but a good defence from John Schuster in Leeds. Again, we'll use the short side this time. Mike Forshaw drops off inside for Innes. Innes has lost the football. And Leeds couldn't get to Elanga into touch there. And again, Halifax living dangerously using the short side.
Well, perhaps a touch of panic setting in at the at Leeds now as they have to go hunting for the point to bring them back into this game and try and steal the 2 points. Jackson brought down, he gets up, plays it very quickly. Sutherwood from acting half out to Baldwin. Baldwin looks back inside, Sutherwood there for the return. But so is the Leeds defence. Well, referee John Connolly stopping play. It looks like Leeds have given the penalty. Well, he's calling a Leeds player out as well, and obviously something going on in back play there. Perhaps a little interference. It's James Lowes he's having a word with, and it's Halifax that are getting the penalty. John Connolly obviously playing the advantage rule. Not much coming to Halifax, so the penalty taking place. The original spot of the incident. Zamoni puts it into touch on halfway as the mist starts to descend once again on Thrumal to Elangi. Tries to go through, turns round and gets the ball away to Gillespie. Gillespie out of the first one. Halifax in the Leeds half again. Wayne Jackson driving forward strongly. Twilangi on his shoulder, couldn't keep hold of it. Well, there's no need for this with Halifax with a 13-point lead. They're still going for the points. But basic mistakes give Leeds a possession again.
Yes, but can Leeds do anything with the possession? They've done very little with the acres of possession they've had this afternoon. Like Forshaw, the latest one to attempt to drive his way down the middle. Shaw. Makes the break from acting half, which takes Leeds further forward. All right, just directing operations, telling people where they're on. McDermott there drops the football, and that's handed the initiative right back to Halifax. Simon Baldwin twisting, turning, knocking men off as he goes, and Halifax right back in the Leeds quarter there for an absolutely nothing situation.
Well, a mistake again by Leeds gives Halifax the advantage. Baldwin making full use of it, over the top for Dean, following his own kick, and Craig Dean does what Wayne Parker does, scores his second one. It looked like there may have been an obstruction in an interference at the front of the post. None of the Leeds players reacted to it. Craig Dean followed his own kick up, and that surely now seals the 2 points for Halifax. That try extending the lead to 27 points to 10.
Looking to convert, he does just that. We're into the final 10 minutes. 29 points to 10. So Dean gets the penalty. He gets the penalty try under the post. Not that it was required because Leeds were well and truly caught napping there anyway.
All right, with a kick from the centre spot, Halifax surely now with the 2 points in the bag, and a good display against a Leeds side that's had most of the possession throughout this game. Perhaps hitting a bit of form now, Halifax. They'll need to for next week when they take on St Helens at Knowsley Road. Saints, of course, inflicting the second biggest defeat on Halifax this season. At Knowsley Road earlier, Jackson forcing the pass again. Perhaps just getting a little bit too confident. He's just a couple of mistakes against his name, but he's had a tremendous second half since he came on as Wayne Jackson. But Leeds, I'm sure, will still go looking for the points, Stuart, even at this late stage.
Oh, and a kick there from Parker at the base of the scrum. And the referee's awarded the knock-on, but Wayne Parker kicked the man there when there was no chance of kicking the football. He shouldn't have been round the back of the scrum. Leeds have knocked on again for the second time at the base of the scrum. And handed the initiative back to Halifax, Dell.
Parker ups for Bentley on the blind side. Bentley shrugs away from one. Now a chance for Bentley, 50 metres to go. Allroyd in pursuit. Bentley still going forward. Well taken by Gibbons as well, but Bentley's giving Halifax the advantage again. Put them in the attacking position. Harrison with Paul Heighton on his shoulder. Another pair of fresh legs as Heighton heads off towards the Leeds line. And there's a stack of men for Halifax on that bottom side if they can play it quickly. Harrison going for the glory. Scored on his last league appearance here against Castleford. His only try of the season so far. Parker turns it back inside to Jackson, looking for his second. Jackson hammered to the ground. Just metres out. Baldwin drops it onto the foot. Twilangi as he got there. Well, the ball rolling dead. It was pretty close. Baldwin very quick thinking there. I think he dropped it, but he managed to get his foot on the end of it.
Well, he's running out now with Mike Forshaw. Marvin Golden has a run from acting half. Shaw again, so Leeds just making progress from dummy half at the moment. James Lowe's will lean acting half back. Gibbons looks for Holroyd. From this scrum, from this set ruck, finds Holroyd, taking men on Graham Holroyd. Can't make any progress forward. Lowe's. Yeah, poor pass again there from McDermott to no one in particular. He's picked up by Cook. All right. Hoists a foot kick downfield. Oh, good play by Halifax, launching a raid.
Well, Twilangi setting Halifax back on the attack again. Amanga up into the line, takes it back into the Leeds half. Parker, the kick for Bentley. Paul Cook using his feet, it's bounced kindly for him. But Steve Sims, I don't think is happy with that one. You can hear him muttering at the other end of the gantry. I think he's looking for the safety first football from Halifax.
Harvey Howard gets the ball away and David Gibbons just ducks under the shoulder charge. Holroyd looking to try and break through the line. Lowe's finds Forshaw running out wide. Forshaw gets the ball away to Innes, but Innes is well wrapped up there. Nowhere for Innes to go. Kicks down for the corner, and that's a high spinning kick. Halifax Amanga underneath it. Good defence coming in there from Marvin Golden.
The overseas influence again there, showing with Amanga and Twilanga combining well to run the kick back. Harrison takes it over halfway with a big drive into the closing minutes. Halifax well in command at 29 points to 10. Dean brings Jackson on the inside. Jackson running into trouble, gets the pass away. And in conditions like this, even good passes take trouble to stick, so Jackson really had no chance of getting that one away to anybody.
Cook trying to step his way inside from the pass of McDermott. Harvey Howard and John Bentley having a little tete-a-tete there. And we've no doubt which way the penalty will go. On comes the touch judge. Michael Jackson's gone the man of the match. And the penalty does go That's definitely a hometown penalty decision if ever I saw one. Leeds in possession. Harvey Howard hammered while he was on the floor by John Bentley, and Bentley gets a penalty. Mind you, he's a police officer and they don't do anything wrong.
Into the last 5 minutes as Amone fires the ball into touch. Craig Dean, 2-try hero, leaves the field, replaced by Carl Briggs. So if Halifax get in the position, perhaps Briggs will go for his 9th drop goal of the season, already successful with 8. The one that mattered this afternoon was Wayne Parker's that gave Halifax a 13-point cushion. Perhaps took the stuffing out of Leeds a bit. Baldwin on the bottom side again. Playing well at centre since he came on, Simon Baldwin on that far side. Made plenty of yards. Briggs takes the pass. Parker, short ball to Gillespie, but Gillespie hammered by Harvey Howard in front of the Leeds post, stood over him and looked menacingly after he knocked Gillespie to the floor.
And he's got the penalty for offside. Forshaw quickly takes the tap, goes himself. Jamie Field well wrapped up there, turned round and nobody behind him for the support. Gibbons bouncing out of tackles, but there's only so much progress you can make when you do that. The cover eventually comes across, wraps him up. Allroyd. Allroyd's ball launching in, he's pushing men off, but really the Halifax defence has worked superb this afternoon. McDermott slips the ball around to Innes. Innes looks for Cook. Cook's nowhere to be seen. And this time, after Innes was assaulted there, the touch judge is conspicuous by his absence until it's too late, and it's Bentley involved again. So Bentley again involved there, and really Bentley should walk because he's just punched another player. That's the 3rd player he's punched after being not involved in the original incident. And it's no good even talking at the moment because the touch judge and the referee is trying to point out people. It's no good looking at Mick Shaw. The original incident was the one that matters. Well, what's going to happen regarding the original incident? Bentley and Mick Shaw were involved. And it's Jackson. Referee comes for the card. 2 yellow cards. And then he gets a yellow card as well, despite the fact that he was assaulted there. And Halifax, would you believe it, get the penalty there? Well, that's really disgraceful hometown decision, that.
Well, whatever happened, Halifax have got the penalty. Jackson's dropped it and dropped it backwards, but it's going to be a knock-on, and it's descended into somewhat of a farce the last 4 or 5 minutes, but pantomime season's coming up. It started early at Thrumall, but Leeds will get the possession again, and there'll be a couple of minutes overtime now with that little fracas, Stuart.
Yes, a couple of minutes for Leeds to try and get some pride back and just reduce the deficit. And the Leeds player thrown all the way into touchdown there. Can't really see who it is. It's in the dark gloom down in that far corner. Probably was Jamie Field. Parker wins a feed for Halifax. John Bentley's offside and has to wait for Paul Cook to run the football back. A good run into the Halifax half of the field. Leeds again, going from action out this time with James Lowes. Some good running down on the far side from Marvin Golden, just taking play further forward. He's had a good game for Leeds this afternoon. Holroyd now throws that ball out to Mike Forshaw. Forshaw to Anthony Gibbons. Anthony Gibbons just looking to take men on and go himself. This is the last tackle and Shaw obviously not aware of it. Gets the ball away eventually, but it wasn't a good pass and Cummins on it the back of his leg as he was running.
Brighton drives away for Halifax, the ultrasound. That's 2 points well earned for Halifax. Leeds without the likes of Iro, Schofield, Fallon, but take nothing away from a Halifax victory. 2 hard-earned points against the Leeds side, which have had a mountain of possession. They looked as though there may be shades of Headingley when they scored very early on in the second half with Cummins, but Halifax responding magnificently. Parker's drop goal perhaps sealing the 2 points long before the end of the game. Tries from 2 from Craig Dean, 2 from Wayne Parker. Michael Jackson, who I think I heard announced as the man of the match earlier, 4 from 5 for Schuster. Parker's drop goal. Leeds couldn't turn the possession into points. Only 2 tries to show for this afternoon's work in the gloom at Thrumall. Coming from debutant Anthony Gibbons and Francis Cummins. Paul Cook with a 1 conversion. Halifax running out winners, and perhaps with a little bit more confidence now after a few shaky performances to go to St Helens with a bit more confidence in the Regal Trophy at Knowsley Road next Sunday afternoon.